I often get asked the simple question, Mike, how do we control weeds around the garden without getting into horrible chemicals, without having to get sprays out? Well, the answer is in this lance, which is connected to the end of the LPG cylinder. It is a Weedwand. Now, you'll find that you've talked to your mates. Once you get one of these, and they'll say, how are you getting weeds controlled in your garden? You'll say, I've got this wonderful thing called a Weedwand. And then you'll find yourself having to correct and say, Weedwand. That's the Taranaki psyche at work. But the big thing is you get this wonderful burst of flame, which as you move along, scorches the weeds. Then you can go back and do another pass and turn the weeds to ash and get this wonderful potash-rich fertilizer going into your soil. They're great because you can just go over a little area, burn the weeds off, and then plant straight away. For smaller jobs, you can have a little gas cylinder like this one. This particular size does 2.5 hours burning, and you can then just get round and do little jobs. This is a small wand, very lightweight, so as well as going out and singeing weeds with it, when you pluck your chooks you can singe those, or singe your pigs as you kill them to get rid of all those hairs. So very, very versatile gadget. But as with anything, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, or did I say the proof of the weeding is in the singeing. Lighting both the little wand and the bigger wand is nice and easy and safe, providing you use this lovely little ignition switch halfway up the stem of the wand. Like any gas bottle or gas cylinder thing that you're lighting, don't be tempted to use a cigarette lighter to light it at this end, because cigarette lighters, basically a little canister of fuel, and they have a habit of exploding when they're in contact with heat, and you end up with one hand cooked meat. First little step, turn the gas on. Nice and easy, just turn it on nice and gently. Remember, keep it pointing away from you because you don't want singed feet. Turn the gas on, push the thing, and away we go. Beautiful, good lot of heat there. And we move down to our weeds. And look at them, they're just withering and wilting as we move along there. And as you see, it just wilts everything away as you go. Move it along, nicely cleaned up. And the great thing with the heat is that you're killing any weed seeds that are just under the surface of the soil, and they're not going to germinate. No weed killer can do that. And the other nice thing is you're not disturbing soil and bringing in a whole pile more weed seeds to germinate. So, nice gentle job. But it's easy to say in a nice little compact area like this. Let's look at the rigours of a car park. Well, if you buy the big one, you also need to buy the little trolley or have a friendly golfer that doesn't mind you pinching their trundler. The big thing is 9 kgs of gas bottle, lot to carry around. Put it on wheels, nice and easy. For the big ones, they have a little control which, when you want to light it, you just turn it on, sort of about quarter or half a turn. Never ever turn a knob full on. If you get to the full part, take it back a quarter of a turn, and then you're into it. And over your weeds, once again, everything is scorching up, shriveling up very nicely. Another neat thing about this is that you can get up, and if you've got old leaves and everything that are caught up in awkward areas against the concrete walls, just go up and away you go, singe them all up, and you've got a nice little controlled burn off happening. Goes out pretty quickly. You don't have to have huge heaps. And of course, you've got a heap of rubbish you want to burn. One of these, absolutely brilliant to clean up and get rid of the rubbish heap. Just aim it at the green heap and away she goes. But the great thing about using flames like this is that it does work on some of the really awkward weeds that you can't hoe, weeds like in this area in the drive where they're in between stones, you can't manually get rid of them easily, so you can just move in and you can be in control of the situation perfectly. Don't panic too much if they look a little bit green when you move away, because generally you've killed the centres out and they will grow, but you can come back again and just have a nice clean up and get rid of it in total. Depending on how you wish to kill them, is that you can have a bit of patience and stand there until they're absolutely blackened little remains, but really a nice gentle pass and you'll find within 2 or 3 days that those weeds have completely withered away and disappeared on you. So you don't have to have total scorched earth as part of your policy here. The big thing with these though is that if you're planting a bit of garden or a new bit of lawn, you can let the very, very young weeds grow and then go over, and then you can plant and sow straight away. Well, part of this show was really for you pyromaniacs, wasn't it? Get out there, burn the weeds off. But seriously, it's a great way, an environmentally sound way to control weeds, accepted under the organic regimes of BioGrow and Demeter and so on. The beauty of LPG, it burns down to carbon dioxide and water, so you don't end up with carbon monoxide and a whole pile of other things like you do with some of the kerosene weed burners.
For more information or to purchase these or any of the other products available in the range, contact Chainmakers New Zealand Limited.